Hi, welcome back to Budget with Bianca. I'm Bianca, and today we are budgeting for June. I haven't been here, haven't filmed a video in about a month, so excuse me if I'm rusty a little bit, but wanted to. We're going to budget today. I have some little bit of life updates that relate to the budget to share. As you can see, we have a few overspent categories, but that's because when I'm filming this, it is June 3rd, and I have not yet assigned money for June. So it's not really overspent. So we'll take care of a lot of those today. I did just get back from one of my trips, so we will deal with some overspending from that. And it's going to be a jam-packed video, so let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to go through is a little bit of a life update. I actually, in May, did accept a new position with a new company, so I'll be leaving my current position. I'm still staying in the area. We're not moving from our house or anything like that. And the nice thing about that, well, there's pros and cons, just like there is for every job. The pros for me is that I now will be able to work from home part-time. So it's a hybrid position, but the in-office location is actually closer just by maybe 2-3 minutes than my current work location is. And at my previous job, which I'm still at now, I was fully in office. So for those of you who have children, maybe you have struggled with working outside of the home. Both my husband and I work outside the home, and it's just really tough, even with all the help that we have in daycare and my parents. So this was, I think, a necessary change for us. With that, my salary will be different. I'm not sure exactly what it will be, factoring in, investing and the healthcare option. So we will do that, but I won't start the position until the end of July. So we won't see that salary until August. And the other big change for that is the insurance type. So at my current job, my insurance is zero deductible, and it's a really good insurance, like medical plan. This new job, they do offer that, but they also offer a high deductible, low premium option, which then puts me to have or to be eligible for an HSA, which currently at my current job, I have an FSA. And if you don't know the difference, very briefly, an FSA is a chunk of money that is set aside from each paycheck, and it's a use it or lose it. So you have to use it within basically a calendar year, or that money goes away. Whereas an HSA, that money is put into an investment account. It is invested, and it grows tax-free. It goes in tax-free, and you can take it out tax-free for any medical expenses. So that is nice. So that's a big change there. And then lastly, with being able to work from home, I don't have a home office. Where I'm sitting now, what you see is my dining room. So I'm sitting at my dining room table. In front of me is my living room. So I will be a room makeover for one of our spare bedrooms into an office. We have an office in one of our other rooms, but it's more so a guest bedroom. But that room will eventually be for any future children we have. We also have another bedroom that will be our office. So one of my separate videos this month, later in June, will be how I budget for room makeovers and small renovations for our house. So stay tuned for that. And then lastly, for career life updates, my job every May does merit raises. So I did receive a merit raise that is reflected in the last paycheck I received in May. And it wasn't a very large merit raise, but so we do have a little bit of extra money for the next 4 paychecks that I'll be receiving until I start my new job. So that is kind of the life updates. And let's get budgeting. So the very first thing that I wanted to say is, anytime I sit down before filming, I always reconcile all of our accounts. So if you need a tutorial on that, I would suggest going to YNAB's website and looking at how to reconcile your accounts. That's extremely important to make sure that everything is accurate. So I've already gone ahead and done that. I've approved any transactions that were waiting for me to approve or enter in. And yeah, so everything here is accurate. So before we get to allocating any money, I did want to point out a couple things that have changed since my last budget with me, like in the budget plan. So the very first thing is I did receive our RITA bill for 2024. So RITA is our city tax. So we owe $176.43 by June 15th. So that will be factored in today. And then I did want to change a couple things. So one of them we will do in our actual budgeting plan, but I did want to add a category here. So creation in the YNAB methodology is the plan for saving up for large expenses that you would like in the future. So right now we are saving for my daughter. We save $1 for every week of her age. That's pretty popular in the YNAB space. But I would like to add a new category for a new robot vacuum. We had one a while ago, but unfortunately, I used to let it run when I left for work, and one time my dog vomited, and the vacuum ended up sucking up all the vomit and then spreading it around the room. And so we had to quickly get rid of it, which was really unfortunate because I loved that vacuum. So I'll be getting a new one. And so I've created the category. I'll add an emoji later. And I want to create a target. And I'm going to set aside $500 and we'll say $30. And we're going to make it a custom target. And I want to, so let me move myself. And I want to have a balance of that. And I want it due by, I would like to get it maybe Black Friday-ish. So by November. So now it tells me that I need $88.34 to meet that goal. Okay, and that sets us up for budgeting. The very first thing I'd like to do is actually go back into May. And if you've seen, a lot of people do this, but the one that I know of is Just Finance. I'll link their channel below. They do what's called an end of month sweep. So I have put together a focused view for that. So these are categories where if there's any money left over in the current month, at the end of the month, this money is then okay to pull back up into ready to assign and then disperse elsewhere in the budget. You definitely don't have to do that. And you can just let it roll over and build up any, sinking funds that you would like. However, my brain just doesn't think like that. And so I like to see that money back into ready to assign and then disperse. You can also just move money from one category to another from that category itself. But again, my brain doesn't work like that. So this is what we do. So I'm going to just move all of this. I'm going to keep the Cooper food there. But the rest of this, I'm going to move to ready to assign. And I got to move myself back up. Okay. And the phone storage, ready to assign. Sewage we're going to keep because that builds up. But we're going to take our insurance, extra insurance money, move that. TV and water. All right, excellent. So that money does not show up here. It will show up in June. So if we scroll back over to June, here's $46 extra. And we're going to get out of this focused view, go to all of our categories. And before we get budgeting, I did want to show our age of money, because for me, this is really exciting. This is the highest it's ever been. So our age of money right now is 77 days. My goal has always been to get to about 90 days. It will always fluctuate depending on how much you spend in a month. So if you have less cash on hand, if you make a big purchase, your age of money will go down. and the more cash you have on hand, the higher your age of money. So my first goal was to get to 30 by being a month ahead, which we have done that. And now is to get to about 90 days would be amazing. So this is my way of building up an emergency fund. So yeah, I just thought that was really exciting for me. And that's a big milestone for us, I think. So you'll see, because we are a month ahead, I park all of our paychecks and any money we earn in the current month in next month's category. So throughout the month of May, when we receive paychecks and money from our FSA and other things, I basically just went into my mobile app and I put the money right into June's resilience next month category. And so this is basically a culmination of, paychecks and different sources of money that we received. So I'm going to basically zero this out, and all that money will pop into ready to assign. So we have $11,451.78 to work with today. I'm going to go through category by category. And again, I'm going to ignore this overspent because much of this is purely because I have not assigned money in June yet. Had I not been on my bachelorette party trip, this money would have been assigned, on May 31st. But I was having fun, so it waited until today. So I'm just going to go through, click on the category group. You can go line by line, however you want. And I'm going to click underfunded. So for our frequent expenses, we are going to click underfunded. And I did go ahead and change a couple category targets. So our average spent for daycare is $503.56. And so I changed the target to 500. If I need to add, a couple dollars here and there, I can move things around as needed. All right, quality of life needs $255.60. And that will cover a lot of things. Actually, I'm going to go hide the swim lessons because we're not going to purchase anymore. We already purchased our package. I am going to maybe add a target to leisure and leisure, which is like our activities like, like I just bought book signing tickets for an author that's coming to my area who I love. And so that might be funded, but we'll see. Okay, my fun money category gets 100. Both my husband and I get 100. However, last month I bought some paint by numbers, which you will see when you catch my room makeover video. And so I will need to cover this because it has a yellow and a credit card symbol. It's actually going to be covered, in the credit card category. So I'm going to wait on that. But I am going to assign a little bit of money. I'm going to assign $20 here because my husband and I agreed to do 200 per person, like for each of our categories. So 200 of that, roughly will cover the overspending plus a little bit left over. And then my husband will get 100 plus I'm going to put his 200 in sports and he can do with that what he wants. In travel, I'm going to leave the overspending in the bachelorette weekend trip, but I will go ahead and underfund or fully, fund to the targets the rest of the trip so that we have. I'm going to leave the true expense buildup fund. This is not a true category. So I'm going to check the whole category, but uncheck this. And so we need $845.05 for that category. And, this category is just our large sinking funds that we build up. And that brings us to celebrations, which we will fund. And one thing that I need to add money to here is in general gift giving. So I plan on getting a couple gifts for my close coworkers, kind of as like a going away. I know I don't expect them to give me anything, but I would like to give them things. And I did already buy my 2 close coworkers that I work with every single day, and I share an office with, presents when we went to New Orleans, when I was just in New Orleans this weekend. So I've already bought those. Those are already accounted for in this category. So I'm going to assign an extra 75, I think. That should be good. Yeah. Okay. So creation needs 92.34. And our bills, which you can see a lot of them are overspent, they're taken out, towards the first of the month. So that's why they're overspent, but not really, because it's all good. And you can see now we only have 3 overspent categories, so we're taking care of them. All right, our loans need 1,081.58. And Nick State Farm needs 95.28, and we can hide this category. Okay, we don't do anything with our Wish Farm. Okay, and then we need to, this is our credit card payment category, and the reason they're yellow is from last month's spending that I wasn't able to cover by May 31st, just purely because I wasn't there. So we need to fund that. Okay, so that is good. I don't know why they're still yellow. What is this? Oh, because of that. Okay. We will just go ahead and cover this with ready to assign. I don't think I can pull money from anywhere. And we're all good. Let me just double check the credit cards. So credit cards are all green. Every category is green. So that is excellent. One other thing that I did in the month of May, I decided to set up a brokerage account because for things that we're saving for that are very large, so for example, our next car, what I plan to do is move this money over to our brokerage account and start saving money there. We don't need a new car for hopefully more than 5 years. And so I plan to use that money. I want it to grow, hopefully at a faster pace than our high yield savings account, which do have a 4% interest rate. So really pretty good. But I'd like it to build up and with more interest if possible. So that is what I will do off camera as soon as I am done filming. And last month I transferred over 410 because that was the balance here. So it says it's spent because it's leaving the budget, but it is accounted for in our accounts. I have linked my brokerage account in our registrar in YNAB, so it reflects there. All right, so now we are ready to assign money to our true expense buildup fund. So this is our large sinking funds that we are building up before we start aggressive loan repayment. And we have $1,805.42, which is excellent. That's even more than I would like to save $1,500 every single month. And so this exceeds my goal. So that's excellent. So we have $254 remaining. So I'm going to add that here. And I did lower this to $1,000. I had a goal of $2,000 for technology, but I have a new phone. My husband's phone, it works well. So I'm not too worried. And I just bought the laptop that I'm filming and using. So I feel pretty good about that. And so the rest of this money, I'm going to put $1,500 here. So we only need $500 next month. And I'm going to put the remaining 53 in here. And I think that covers it. Or do I want to put more in garden? Yeah, I'm going to undo what I just did and put a little bit more in garden because I would like to get just a few more annuals. And if we ever need some knickknacks, then I'd like to do that. So I'm going to snooze this target because I won't be putting any money in here for the rest of this month. And so our underfunded is 0, and we're good to go. Thanks for joining me for this budget with me. Tune in to my next video, which will be how I plan and execute home renovations using YNAB for my budget. And I will see you back there. And then again at the end of June or early July for our July budget with me. Let me know if you have any questions and what you're working on, what your goals are. This next month, so July, will be the last month that we use our true expense build-up fund. And then from there, we will start aggressively repaying our student loans. So stay tuned for that. I'll update you when we start that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.